All right, moving to a 2-point perspective drawing. This is also done on that orthographic paper. Remember that rule of 3 that we went over? It now kind of just reverses though. So in the 1-point perspective, you started with a 2-dimensional front shape or figure, which was a rectangle, and then you had 1 vanishing point. So 2-dimensional, 1 vanishing point. In this case, we are going to we're going to start with a 1-dimensional starting line, which really just means a vertical line. So a straight line is 2-dimensional. Or no, so a straight line is 1-dimensional. There's only one direction that it's going in. So we just have this, and now you pick 2 vanishing points. A little bit of a reminder or a suggestion for your vanishing points. You don't want to make your vanishing points too narrow. You don't want them to be really narrow. You want them, I like to say you want them spread out. So I'm going to try to do it as, you want them spread out, and then this is going to be really, really subjective, but you want it not too close to your starting line, but not too far from your starting line. You kind of think about the isometric paper, you know, those like 30-degree lines, how it comes out. That's kind of what you're going to think about wanting to do when you're working with this. And so I'll pick somewhere over here. And something that you also have to follow is they have to be on, your vanishing points have to be on the same horizontal line. So let's see if they're both in view. So here is on the same horizontal line as this vanishing point. They have to be equal. You can't have a vanishing point here and then another one up there. They have to be horizontally on the same plane here. Okay, so how you proceed with this now is you connect the top of the vanishing, or the top of your starting line to each vanishing point. So I'll connect the top over here. I kind of missed, but not the end of the world. Then you connect the top here over to that side. And you do the same thing with the bottom. You connect the bottom of your starting line to this vanishing point and the bottom to that vanishing point. So here, make it going across. And good. Now what you want to do, right now it kind of just looks like the letter V, but what you want to do now is put a vertical line to the left of the starting line, only like that fits inside of this area. And then you also want to put a vertical line somewhere over here. I'd like to just put it on the actual grid lines. Notice that I'm not trying to get, too specific. I look at a line, I just put them there. And now you connect the top of these lines to the opposite vanishing point. So the top of the right one to the left vanishing point, and then the top of the left one to the right vanishing point. And what you've done here, you're never gonna have to really erase these lines. I'm just making them dimmer so that the actual rectangular prism stands out. And you'll notice that we've made this rectangular prism. So I'm gonna make all the vertical ones dark, and so yep, now that's the rectangular prism that we made. I'm just making these bold. And if you'd really like, you can, same thing, shade again. So you could do this, just light gray. And when you do the shading, you only shade in the prism. You're not gonna go all the way to the vanishing point, just this area. All right, so got that. That would be an example of a 2-point perspective. Now, where the rule of 3 comes in, you started with just a starting line, which is 1-dimensional, but then you had 2 vanishing points. So that's why, 1 plus 2 is 3, so the rule of 3. And the opposite would be this one, the 1-point perspective, where you start with a 2-dimensional figure, a rectangle, and you have one vanishing point. So that's the difference.